Hello, so welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll discuss about input output and static keyword. So yesterday we have discussed about if and else condition, nested if, and break and continue in different type of loops. So let's start with today's topic. So before input output, we'll discuss about static keyword first. So we cannot give a name of a Java class as any reserved keyword. Like static is a keyword, so we cannot give a name of this class as a static. So I have added example with that. So as I mentioned that static is a keyword in Java, and it can be, we can use this static keyword with variables, method, blocks and nested if. So whenever we define any variable method as static, it means that it belongs to a class. So we'll see first we'll discuss the variable, static variable. So how we declare a variable that we know that data type of the variable followed by name of the variable. So this is how we declare a variable in data type. So how can we declare a variable as static? We have to add a static keyword in front of data type. So if a variable is declared as static, the variable is assigned memory once and all the object of that classes access the same variable. So generally when we are defining this variable as static, means it's a constant variable, and that is same for every instance of the class. Let's take an example that there are 10 employee and all the employee works in the same company. So here the every employee will have different unique employee ID. They will have different name or they can have the same name, but the name of the employer as they work in the same company will be the same for all the 10 employees. So if the same, we can use the same name for the all employee, so we can declare this variable as a static. So we'll declare it once and same name can be used for all the objects. So let's take an example, or like static, then string emp name. So we have declared this employer name as ABC. And as is a string, so we have data type as string and this method, this variable as static. So I'll also declare other variable as name. Employee ID. This two belongs to the each employee and they will be different. And I'll give a I'll count a total number of employee. So I'll give also total. I'll declare it as a static. So I have initialized the variable of total number is 0. When we'll create each employee, it should increase by 1. We'll see that. So first I'll create a so we know how to create a method. So this is, we have created a method public, so it can be accessed by anyone. Void, so return type, whenever we declare a method we have to get a return type. So we don't want anything in the return, so we have written the return type as void, and this is the name of the method. So this is the parenthesis, and in curly braces we'll write the block of the code what we want this method to perform. So we want to get the number of name of the employee, employer name, employee ID, and the count also. So it will take argument a string name of the employee and integer as an ID, employee ID. So I'll print name. So here I am printing the name of the employee, employee ID. This is the company name, and this I am incrementing the value of total number because this is the uh, first employee. Then if this same method is called by second number, then it should give increment the value by 1. So we know how how to access this method, as this is a like static method, a non-static method. We have to create an object. How we can create an object? This using a method name, using a class name, followed by object name. I'll give obj, new keyword. Then again we have to give the class name. We have created the object obj. Now through the object we can access this display. It's asking me to pass an argument name. So we'll run and we'll see. So name is John, it's printed. Then employee ID is 123 and the name of the company is ABC. So let's print this count also. Then we'll see whether it is incrementing or not. So initial the value was total number was 0, but when I created an object of that class, it became 1. It incremented the value, and this is static, so it's taking from the class variable this one name. And let's try to create another object and call the same method. So bj2, this time John is so now I've created two objects. I'll run the program. See, first John, ABC company, employee ID 1. Then second object, Smith, employee ID, name of the company 2. So this employee variable that is defined as static, it's shared among all the objects as it is common for all the employee. And this it belongs to a class. That's why for the first, when the first object is created for that class, it incremented to 1. And again, when the second object is created for the same class, it incremented to 2. So this is how we use the static keyword with a variable. So we'll see the same example for the static method. Same as a static variable, similar to static variable, static method belongs to a class and not every instance of the class object. And also we need to add static keyword before the method name in the declaration. So as this, we know this is the method we have declared. So here this is the non-static method. So this is the before this, here we have to add static keyword to make this method as static. So the moment when I change the non-static method to static, I'm getting some message over here. So whenever we declare that method as static, so there is no need to create the object of that class because this method belongs to this class only. So we can directly access this method by calling the method name. No need to create the object and access this method and variable with the object name. We'll remove this one. The method name is display. It's giving me error message because it's asking me to pass the value of that. So I'll create next object. So I'll call the methods for the second time. So I'll run this program. So the John, this is the employee ID, name of the company, value increased to 1. The same thing, Smith, employee name, company name, the value increased to 2. So whenever we declare the method as static, so we don't need to create a object for that one. We can directly access the method by its name because this method belongs to this class rather than the object. So we can directly call that method. So one of the basic rule of working with the static method is that uh, we can access the non-static we can't access the non-static method or field directly. And one of the best non-static method is this main method. This is why the Java runtime to start an application, the main method must be static. So we can directly uh, we don't need to create an object for this one. So next one is this, we have discussed the static variable and static method. So next one is static block. So static block is used for initializing the static variables. And the static block is executed once when the first object of that is class is created. So we'll see the syntax of this one. Let's create another class for that one. Suppose we have static variable. So we have declared two static variable int a and int b. So now we can write a static block to initialize the variable a and b. So we have to create a object for this one. Let's print the variable. So this is the way of formatting the output. We'll learn in the next lecture. So just we will print this value, we'll see. So it has given the value a equals to 16, what we have declared in the block, and b equals to 32 because we have declared the b as 2 into a. This is the operator that is available in the Java, like this marks is for multiplication. So a into a, 16 into 2 is equal to 32. So this is the static block. So this following code will be initialize the static. This static block will initialize the variable that we have given. We have declared the variable as a. So the what is the points like main thing we have to remember in the static keyword is that static variable or the static, whenever we declare anything as static, it belongs to a class and they can be accessed directly without the class name. Like we don't have to make a object reference for that. And static variable, we can declare this static variable at the class level only. We cannot define anywhere else. So the static variable can be like we can use a static variable that if you want something to refer as a common property for all the object, like which is unique for each like which is not unique for all object, like company name, it's unique for all name, is college name of the name of the university. So we can declare this as a static. So now we'll move to our next input output. So as of now, whatever the programs we have looked so far, so we are simply displaying the displaying the output. Println is displaying the output. We are not taking any input from the user, or we are not reading any input from the keyword. So in input output video we'll see how to read an input from the keyword and use that input to calculate the result, and then we will see that this formatting thing also, how we are formatting the output. So I'll create a new class for this input thing. So in all the program we are using this system.out.println to print the argument that we are passing to this method. So we'll run and we'll see. So in printed what we have passed in argument. So system.out.println is a Java statement that prints the argument that passed into the system.out. Basically, let's understand in the detail of this how it works. So this is the system. We can divide into like three parts. So system, this is a one class in, we can say, the inbuilt class in java.lang.package. So what is the package? Package is like mm, is like collection of, it is a folder structure. It hold like class that are related to each other. Suppose this is the package, and here we are storing all the class that are related to each other. So this is a folder like structure that contains classes of similar type. So the system is a class, and that is a class that is in java.lang.package, and this system provides a method. We know that in each class we can declare the variable and we can have the method. So it's provide a method, this system class, that is related to system or environment where the program runs, and it also provides system.out, which is a special value that provides method for displaying the output, including this println. And this out is the second part is this out. First is part is the class that belongs to a java.lang.package, and the second one is this out. So out is a static member field of a system class. The same thing that we learned, the static variable and a starting method. So this is the same way the out is a static member field of the system class. And the third part is println. Println is a built-in method of that class which prints the argument based to the standard console in the new line. So we have discussed that ln in the new line, and if you print in the same line, we have to write print only. So it print the argument whatever passed to this in a standard console in the new line. Similarly, so with the help of this method, whatever the argument is passed, it print the value in the console. So similarly, we have a class called scanner, which is used to take a input from the user and use that input to do the calculation and other things. So we'll see. So we'll see with examples. So scanner also provides a method for like inputting words, numbers, and data from user, and scanner is provided by java.util package. So as we have already discussed, that package is a collection of related classes. So how the syntax of using a scanner is scanner with a new keyword. So we'll discuss. So we are taking the input, so system.input. So whenever we are writing this scanner, we have to, it's giving me an error message, is asking me to import this java.util package. So we'll import this one and we'll discuss. So whenever we are importing the statement that cannot be inside the class, we have to import, it will import automatically, or if we import, we have to write import.java.util.scanner, we have to write outside the class. So when we write scanner, we are using the scanner class. It's mandatory to import this package because there might be some, we have created some other class and we have given some, there'll be some other class called scanner. So that's why we have to mention that from which package we want to call which scanner. So there might be another class name like scanner in the another package. So this import statement, when we'll import this java.util.scanner, it will tell the compiler that I want to use a scanner that is present in this java.util.scanner package. So we'll take an example. I'll define a variable. So we have all the method that has been defined in the scanner class. So we'll use next line. So it's given that advanced the scanner passed the current line and returns the input that was skipped, and method returns the rest of the current line. So we'll check this one. So we'll execute and we'll see. Then we'll discuss. What happened? So this is the line. We have declared a variable line, and this is the scanner class, and we are using system.in. Okay. We'll run this. So what we are doing here, this is the scanner dot is the system in. Before that we have declared a variable line, and this line, this scanner, what we are using here is declare the variable name and create a new scanner that takes input from the system.in. And so in the scanner class, there is a method called next line. We have seen this is a method called next line that reads the line of the input from the keyboard that return as a string. So whenever we are run this scanner, it's printing the value that we have given in the next line, and it's asking the user to print something. I'll print, okay. So the next line, sc.scan line, it will read what the user has written in the the first output in the input system.in, and it will store in a variable called line. And again we are printing the value that user has typed, and we have stored in the variable. So we'll see it again. It's asking me to type something and whatever will pass will be stored in or will be read by this method next, and it will be stored in this variable line. And again we are printing the line variable which is storing the user input ABC. So it's printing the value also. It's taking the input from the user, reading the input, and then it's printing the value. So this is what the next line do. It reads the value and return the value as a string type. But you might like we might wonder like why we are importing this scanner class, and when we are using the system.out.println, it also belongs to some class. Why we are not importing that package before using this? So this system class that we were using for this printing the value in the console, that belongs to Java lang package, which is imported automatically. This is the default package, and according to the documentation, Java long provides the classes that are fundamentally designed for the Java programming. And a string class is also a part of this java.lang, which is automatically imported, so we don't have to import it implicitly. So we'll see the next another example. Hello, so welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll discuss about input output and static keyword. So yesterday we have discussed about if and else condition, nested if, and continue in different type of loops. So let's start with today's topic. So before input output, we'll discuss about static keyword first.